The water storage rate at drought-stricken Gangneung's main water supply reservoir rose for the first time in 52 days on Saturday, following heavy rain overnight in Gangwon Province's coastal and mountainous regions.
지난 주말 강원도 해안과 산간 지역에 내린 강한 비 덕분에 그간 가뭄에 시달렸던 강릉의 주 상수원인 오봉 저수지의 저수율이 52일 만에 오름세로 돌아섰습니다.
Yes, so
good news.
Yes, very good news
Yeah.
for residents of Gangneung, which has been suffering from this prolonged drought for months now. But some rain over the weekend. Actually, a lot of eyes are on this reservoir, the Obong Reservoir, and the level it's at. So it rose slightly. Right now, as of 7 a.m., the latest figures I have is at 16.3%. So it's slowly edging up. I think it got Gangneung or Gangwon Province overall got rain, like I said, but Sokcho got about 140 millimeters over the weekend. Gangneung just under 100 millimeters as well. So the last time Gangneung actually received more than 30 millimeters was back in July. So we're talking about 2 months now, over 2 months since it's received rain. And it is very good news for the region, which has been having to rely on a lot of water being supplied from outside the region. I know a lot of businesses and a lot of farmers have had to cope with this water shortage.
And local officials said that if Gangneung doesn't receive any rain in the next few weeks. This was a report that came out over a week ago. Then the water reserve level will go down to about 5%, which is dangerously low. Luckily, as you said, it is up slightly. Gangneung and that region has been drought-stricken for quite some time.
Exactly. So as an adjective here, divided by a hyphen. So a drought is a condition where there's a prolonged period of no rain. So if you're stricken, it's the past participle of to strike. It means it's severely affected, right? Or damaged because of this drought.
무언가에 타격을 입었다라는 뜻의 something stricken이 나왔는데요. drought가 바로 가뭄이죠. D-R-O-U-G-H-T, drought. 그래서 가뭄에 시달린 이 강릉 지역입니다. 그렇지만 주말 사이에 정말 너무나 다행히 비 소식이 있었고 또 비가 실제로 내렸고 그 덕분에 오봉 저수지의 저수율이 좀 올라갔습니다.
Yeah, and the stricken can be used in several other contexts, right? You can be disease stricken. If you're money stricken, that means you're short on money as well.
Disease stricken, money stricken. 다 부정적인 뉘앙스가 있는 거죠.
Right.
질병 때문에 시달리거나 돈이 없어서 고생을 하거나. What about overnight?
Yeah, overnight literally would mean during the course of the night, right? While you're sleeping or over a single night. But just kind of loosely interpreted, it means very quickly or something that happens very suddenly with sort of these surprising results.
Sometimes we say you shouldn't expect results overnight.
Exactly.
But in this case, we did see some very good results overnight.
It literally means overnight here. So during the night, while everyone was sleeping, Gangneung got a lot of rain.
하룻밤 사이에라는 뜻인데요. overnight가 붙어서 한 단어가 되는 거고요. 비유적으로는 순식간에 이렇게 단번에라는 뜻으로 어떻게 이렇게 순식간에 변하겠어라는 식으로 많이 쓰기도 하지만 여기서는 우리가 이제 강릉 지역에서 진짜 하룻밤 사이에 비가 와서 저수지의 저수율이 올라간 얘기를 하고 있는 거고 또 어떤 사람들은 보면 정말 갑자기 확 변하는 경우들이 있을 수 있잖아요. 아니면은 스타 같은 경우 무명 배우였다가 영화 하나로 인해서 갑자기 하룻밤 사이에 일약 스타덤까지 오른 스타들은 어떻게 표현할 수 있을까요? 이 단어 써서.
That's a very good expression. It's literally an overnight star. Right?
Yeah.
She or he became an overnight star from the success of her movie, for example.
하룻밤 사이에 그런 경우들이 많이 있죠.
Absolutely. Those are, sort of rags to riches type of stories where you get this sudden stardom and this attention because of the popularity of whatever it was.
Yeah. I mean, it's a long time ago now, but Psy, when he released his song Gangnam Style, K-pop just sort of overtook the world overnight. Whereas Psy had already been a singer for many decades before that, and K-pop had been around.
Yes.
But it was his song that just sort of changed the whole the landscape of K-pop overnight.
It's interesting you use that example because I would talk to my non-Korean friends, and when they say Psy is an overnight star, I would say no. Psy was actually his. He had his popularity here in Korea, but even before Gangnam Style.
Yeah, exactly. And he had years and years of experience
Obviously,
before that. But overseas, it was that song that really put him on the map.
Right.
Alright, 자, 그래요. 그럼 다시 한번 제가 읽어보겠습니다. The water storage rate at drought-stricken Gangneung's main water supply reservoir rose for the first time in 52 days on Saturday, following heavy rain overnight in Gangwon province's coastal and mountainous regions. All right, let's move on to the next headline.
The government will begin distributing a second round of consumer vouchers worth 100,000 won to 90% of citizens starting September 22nd as part of its efforts to encourage household spending and revitalize the economy.
국내 가계 지출을 장려하고 경제를 활성화하기 위한 민생회복 소비 쿠폰 2차 지급이 오는 22일부터 실시됩니다. 이번 2차 지급에서 정부는 소득 상위 10%를 제외한 국민에게 10만 원을 추가 지급하게 됩니다.
Yes, so this is part of this government administration's efforts to try and spur on economic activity.
Sure.
This time, they'll be distributed on a household basis, determined by residents if you're listed on the same household in the, I guess it's the 주민등록 등본 or something like that, right? But single-person households will be eligible to receive it also, but you can't make over 75 million won a year, so it's capped. So this will affect about 90% of all citizens, according to the government. And if you're a wealthier household with a property tax base of over 1.2 billion won, then you're also not eligible. And if you're also a non-citizen, if you're listed on the same sort of household registry as with another Korean, then you are eligible for this. So get ready, September 22nd. I guess it's next Monday. And the time to register for it will be the end of October.
Right. 그 민생 회복 소비 쿠폰 the first round 1차 때는요 100%
Yes.
of the people were eligible. 100% 다 받을 수 있었고 아마 다 받으셨을 겁니다. This time around, as you said, the top 10% are not eligible.
Yes.
That means the remaining 90% are. So the money will be distributed to them. Let's have a look at that. Or I should say distributed to us.
Yes.
Because we all
Right.
belong, I think.
For those eligible,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
When you distribute something, you're sort of giving something out or delivering something to a widespread area, right? Or to multiple people.
나눠주다.
Like a teacher will distribute test papers
Sure.
to students, right, before a test.
배부하다, 나눠주다, distribute. What about revitalizing the economy?
Yeah, you hear this a lot in economic news, where if you revitalize something, you're giving it new strength or
Sure.
energy or growth, and it doesn't have to be just the economy. You can a lot of these skin products promote revitalizing skin, for example, if you want better skin.
Yeah, absolutely. 어떤 그런 재생의 느낌이 있어서 피부 재생 얘기할 때도 revitalizing skin 할 수 있겠지만 여기선 경제니까요. 경제를 다시 활성화시킨다.
Right, because the word vital in there, vital, means something that's important or key, right? Your vital signs like your heart rate or your, just your breathing, things like that, are also very important things.
That's what medics will check if you've maybe fainted or
Yes.
something. All right, let's read the headline again. The government will begin distributing a second round of consumer vouchers worth 100,000 won to 90% of citizens starting September 22nd as part of its efforts to encourage household spending and revitalize the economy.
The Fitch Agency, one of the top global institutions gauging the financial solidity of sovereign borrowers, has downgraded France on its ability to pay back debts from AA- to A+, the country's lowest level on record at a major credit rating agency.
유수의 국제 신용평가사 피치가 프랑스의 국가 신용 등급을 AA-에서 A+로 한 단계 하향 조정하면서 세계 주요 신용 평가사들 중 사상 최저 수준의 신용 등급을 프랑스에 매겼습니다.
So France has been in a little bit of turmoil
Yeah.
recently. The country's prime minister had to resign because he lost a confidence vote in the parliament after attempting to try and get his budget adopted, which they did not do because the budget contained big spending cuts to cut the French deficit and debt as well. So what's happening is that this new prime minister has come in trying to draw a budget for next year. So what the credit ratings agencies are saying is that with these increased borrowing costs, we're going to lower your credit rating, which is not a good sign. It means that the government's ability to repay its financial obligations kind of went down.
Yeah,
Right?
Prime Minister Bayrou, I believe, was the fourth prime minister since Macron took office as president. So he's having a hard time politically because the people are against all of these government policies. The financial situation is really dire in France. And as you said, now even these ratings agencies are saying, you know, the future of France does not look as bright as it did before. 자, 시민들도 경제적인 어려움을 겪고 있다는 목소리를 많이 내고 있고요. 얼마 전에도 저희가 정치적인 상황이 굉장히 불안정하다. 지금 총리가 벌써 몇 번째 바뀌고 있는지 모르겠다. 그 얘기도 나눈 적이 있었었는데 이번에는 피치 평가사가 또 신용 등급을 하향 조정했네요. Financial solidarity라는 표현이 아까 그 피치에 대한 설명 속에 있었는데요. What does that mean? To gauge solidity.
I was going to say, I think the word was financial solidity.
Not solidarity.
Solidarity is a different meaning,
That's
right? It really is not a common word that's used because solidity, the word solid is in there. It's the noun form of that, and it's the state of being sort of firm or strong
That's right.
in structure. So when we're talking about the economy, if it's something, the financial solidity of the economy means the economy is strong, but in this case, it's the opposite, right?
Exactly.
The French economy is sort of on the downhill sort of slope. So solidity, that's what that means, right?
Solidity는 스펠링이 어떻게 되죠?
solidity. So we're adding the noun form suffix to solid.
solid하다. solid가 명사로는 고체라는 뜻이고요. 형용사로는 단단하다라는 뜻이 있어서 이게 재정적으로 얼마나 안정적인지를 얘기하고 있거든요. solidity 앞에 financial이 붙었었고 제가 아까 잘못 말했던 solidarity는 단결이에요.
Yes.
그것도 사실은 이제 단단한 결속력 같은 거기는 한데 어원은 똑같지만 좀 다른 단어죠. All right. So financial solidity is what these rating agencies look at.
Yes.
And so France has gone from AA minus to A+.
Yes, which is a downgrade.
It is indeed. What about its ability to pay back debts?
Yeah. So the ability of doing something is the skill, or having sort of the capacity or the power to do something. So their financial ability to pay back debt has gone down because of this, I guess, because of the economic situation in the country.
I often rely on your ability to notice my slip-ups. And you did just there, so thank you so much.
Well, I do have a keen ability in doing that. Superheroes have superhuman abilities.
They
right?
do.
Yes.
Superhuman abilities. 초인간적인 능력을 가진 게 바로 영웅이죠. ability, 능력이 되겠습니다. 자, 그렇다고 해서 우리가 이 사람 굉장히 능력이 있어를 영어로 This person has a lot of ability라고 하지는 않아요. 그럴 때는 만약에 좀 예를 들자면 돈을 잘 번다든지 하는 그런 능력이 있다라는 말을 하고 싶으면은 This person has I don't know, a high-paying job maybe. This person has a really good job. 이런 식으로 좀 돌려서 얘기할 것 같아요.
Yeah,
그렇죠?
it's interesting, these two expressions in this headline, they both, solidity and ability, they both have the same noun suffix, right? ity. So the adjective form of ability would be able, if you're able to do something.
그러네요. able하고 뒤에 it 이게 붙어가지고 ability가 됩니다. All right, well, here's the headline again. The Fitch Agency, one of the top global institutions gauging the financial solidity of sovereign borrowers, has downgraded France on its ability to pay back debts from AA minus to A+, the country's lowest level on record at a major credit rating agency. Let's move on to the next headline.
New research finds that people with chronic insomnia are 40% more likely to develop dementia or mild cognitive problems than people who sleep normally, which translates to an additional 3.5 years of brain aging.
만성 불면증 환자들은 정상인에 비해 치매나 경도 인지 장애 발생 위험이 40% 높아져 뇌가 3.5년 더 빨리 늙는 것과 같은 노화 가속화를 일으킨다는 연구 결과가 나왔습니다.
Yeah. So one of the study's main authors said that the results of this study shows that the brain and lack of sleep or just sleep it's not just about rest. It's also about having a resilient brain. So the studies showed that 14% of people with insomnia developed dementia or sort of these mental impairments compared with 10% who don't. So there's a significant difference even if you take into account things like age, high blood pressure, sleep apnea, and whether they're on sleep medications or not.
Exactly. 이렇게 잠을 자는 게 여러모로 너무나 중요합니다. 만성적인 불면증에 시달릴 경우에는 결과적으로 우리 뇌도 더 빨리 늙는다는 얘기죠.
So it doesn't mean just because you have insomnia, if you suffer from it, it doesn't mean you have brain health issues. It just means that these two are related. So just because you can't sleep, don't start worrying.
Okay.
Right now. But just that's kind of what you should take away from this study. Not that if you have insomnia, I'm going to get dementia. That's not what that means.
It's not a cause and effect relationship.
No, they're just related.
But there is some sort of relation going on there. 그래요. 뭐 인과관계는 아닙니다. 그 얘기는 좀 우리가 잘 알아둘 필요가 있을 것 같아요. 꼭 뭐 잠을 못 잔다고 해서 그것이 곧 우리 뇌의 노화로 이렇게 이어지는 것은 아니지만 연관은 있는 것으로 연구 결과가 나온 것이죠.
Right.
All right, let's have a look at cognitive problems.
Yeah, cognitive, C-O-G-N-I-T-I-V-E, anything related to the mind, things like thinking, memory, learning, or just understanding mental processes. And if you have a problem with that, that means it's impaired. And in the headline, we talked about dementia or mild cognitive problems, meaning that it's not severe.
Yeah.
It's sort of on the weaker end of it.
cognitive가 인지와 관련된 거고요. mild cognitive problems는 경도 인지 장애를 얘기하고 있는데 problems 대신에 impairment라는 단어를 쓸 수 있어요. I-M-P-A-I-R-M-E-N-T. Now, what about translating to?
Yeah, so obviously the literal or the primary definition of to translate would be when you convert words from one language into another. But in this case, we're talking about when A translates to B, it's the result or when you have the effect of something to get some sort of outcome or meaning to it.
It translates to blah blah blah라고 하면은 이런 것과 같다 아니면은 결과적으로 이렇게 된다라는 얘기예요. 그래서 꼭 통역이라는 뜻이 아닙니다.
Right. So for example, studying hard while you're in school usually translates to a successful career. Not all the time, but yeah.
그렇죠. 열심히 공부를 하면은 대체적으로는 또 좋은 직장으로 이어지는 경우가 많이 있어요.
이어지다. Yeah, that's very good. Yeah.
그런 식으로 이제 해석을 하시면 되겠습니다. Right. Well, let me read the headline again. New research finds that people with chronic insomnia are 40% more likely to develop dementia or mild cognitive problems than people who sleep normally, which translates to an additional 3.5 years of brain aging. 참고로 이 aging이라는 스펠링은요, A-G-E-I-N-G도 되지만 A-G-I-N-G도 됩니다.
Yes, American is no E.
맞아요. 네. 영연방 국가에서는 이렇게 글자 하나씩 추가하는 경우가 많이 있어요. E 아니면 O 이런 거 하나씩 더 추가 많이 하죠. 아니면 U 이런 거. 네. 사실은 엄밀히 따지자면은 추가를 한 게 아니고요.
Yeah.
원래 단어가 이건데 미국에서 하나씩 뺀 겁니다.
Sure.
미국 영어가 더 뒤에 나왔거든요.
Yeah, it's simplified a lot of times.
그래요. I just had to make that point. Let's move on to the final headline.
A small restaurant in eastern China has gone viral, sparking heated debates online for offering a bowl of noodles priced at an astonishing 2,200 yuan, or more than 420,000 won.
중국 동부의 한 작은 식당이 한 그릇에 약 2,200위안, 우리 돈으로 무려 42만 원이 넘는 국수를 판매해 온라인에서 논란이 빚어지고 있습니다.
Yeah, so this restaurant, it's a small restaurant.
Okay.
It only has 2 tables and they serve various dishes, but this exorbitantly expensive noodles, it contains things like caviar, fresh swamp eel.
Does it have
prawns,
edible diamonds in it?
Abalone, the edible,
gold?
the edible equivalent too, almost. So,
Right.
I don't know if you'd be willing to dish out this much money for it, but
No.
it certainly is creating a lot of buzz because we're talking about it too. But
Would you, Shane?
probably not.
Oh, you say probably.
Yeah, because I don't think anything is worth. It's all about cost
Yeah.
benefit, and I don't know if I would get the same utility out of eating this as opposed to getting my bowl of Pyongyang which I get a lot of utility out of.
For less than a tenth of that price.
Exactly. So
Even more than that.
if I had the money to spare, maybe, but it just seems a little over the top. I think because look,
does.
if you dump a load of caviar on something, of course it's going to be expensive. But will it taste good? Who knows?
I wonder if our listeners would be willing to pay this money. Would you be willing to dish out 42만 원 for a bowl of noodles? Well, apparently this is what's happening in one small restaurant in eastern China. And it's no wonder that it's gone viral. 이게
Yeah.
온라인상으로 바이럴이 된다. 이제 외래어도 됐잖아요. 정말 엄청난 화제가 됐어요. It's also sparking heated debates.
Yeah, so if something's sparked, obviously it's triggered or it's initiated. And if it's a debate, that means people are talking about it. There are discussions or controversies or maybe even arguments. And if it's heated, that means it's very intense or emotional. So to spark heated debate, we're talking about it here. We had a little mild debate here. Would you try this or would you not try this? Either way, we're talking about it. Sort of this noise marketing, I think we were talking about before the show. Noise marketing, I think, is a bit of a Konglish term. You can say buzz marketing or things like hype marketing, which
Yeah.
are more common. But I think English speakers would understand it.
소셜미디어 같은 데서 이제 인플루언서들이 이 식당을 소개하면서 화제가 된 거죠. 이 자체가 어떻게 보면은 좀 노이즈 마케팅일 수 있는데 저도 사실 노이즈 마케팅이라는 표현이 너무나 익숙해서 저는 당연히 영어식 표현인 줄 알았는데 아까 우리가 좀 찾아봤잖아요. 근데 한국식 표현인가 봐요, 노이즈 마케팅이.
I think so. But when you say there's a lot of noise
Yeah.
in your product or advertising, usually it's negative. There's a lot of
그렇죠.
negative
이해가
news
되죠.
about it. But
네.
yeah.
열띤 토론, 논쟁을 불러일으키고 있는 국수입니다. 식당이고요. It's sparking heated debates. The price is astonishing.
It's astonishing. That means it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's surprising. It's impressive.
It makes you
right?
go,
Right.
exactly.
Astonishing. When you're surprised, I think.
맞아요.
Yeah.
사실,
Yeah,
네,
and I
네.
think there is the saying goes, there's no such thing as too much of a good thing. I think in certain cases, there is such thing as too much of a good thing. If you've put on
Yeah.
caviar and abalone and shrimp, it might be a little much, I think.
그러니까요.
Yeah.
우리 청취자분들이 42만 원이라고요? 호텔도 그렇게까지는
No.
잘 안 가는데 국수 한 그릇에 예 맞습니다. 그렇다고 해요. 정말 astonishing 하죠. 놀라워요. A-S-T-O-N-I-S-H-I-N-G. The spelling is astonishing. It's so long. All right, here's the headline again. A small restaurant in eastern China has gone viral, sparking heated debates online for offering a bowl of noodles priced at an astonishing 2,200 yuan, or more than 420,000 won. All right, well, that's it for the headlines this morning.
The government has announced it will waive expressway tolls during the Chuseok holiday, provide up to 40% discounts on KTX and SRT train tickets, and supply a record volume of key food items to help stabilize prices.
정부는 추석 연휴 동안 고속도로 통행료를 면제하고 KTX와 SRT 열차표는 최대 40%까지 할인하며 추석 물가 안정을 위해 사과, 배추, 소고기, 돼지고기 등 추석 성수품을 역대 최대 규모로 공급한다고 발표했습니다.
It's a big holiday. In fact, it's the biggest or the longest we've had in a little bit.
Definitely going to be a long one.
Yeah, and so there are these measures which will hopefully make the holiday a happier and cheaper time. So first off, from October 4th to 7th, expressway toll fees are going to be waived, so you won't have to pay for that. The government is also going to offer discounts of 30 to 40% on both KTX and RST train tickets, and that's for those who want to travel to Seoul or the Seoul region during the holiday.
SRT.
Sorry, what did I say?
RST.
RST, I'm terribly sorry. I don't know what RST is. SRT.
I do that all the time. I mix letters up.
Oh, yes, it does happen. Excuse me.
We all know what you're talking about.
Because
though.
I'm thinking of the food too. It's 172,000 tons of food they're going to be supplying. It's a record.
Yeah.
It's apples, it's pears, it's chestnuts, it's other foods that we eat during Chuseok. And also, there's going to be a lot more rice. An additional 25,000 tons of rice is going to be available to stabilize prices. And if you're in one of the vulnerable groups, you can get a 20% discount. So it means that hopefully everybody can have a very merry Chuseok.
Yeah. And on top of that, we looked at a story yesterday where the government will be providing more of the extra cash handouts
Yeah.
from this month, from sort of like the end of this month. So with that money, you can go and buy the fruits, vegetables, meat, whatever it is you need. And hopefully it'll be an easier, a slightly more pleasant 명절.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to say, these government cash handouts, they're for spending. They're not for saving, because
Right.
you're going to be giving back into the local community, to your local seller, to your butcher, to your fruit seller or vegetable seller. It's really good to get your local economy going.
Exactly. Now, there's a question our listeners may have about one
yes.
of the expressions there. You said that the toll fees
Yes.
will be waived.
Hello.
You're not going to wave to
no,
it, are
I'm
you?
not WAVEing.
But the pronunciation
Same
sounds
pronunciation, WAIVE, to wave something. And so, no, this is nothing to do with your hand. This is to do with not claiming a payment or something like that. So, for example, a fee may be waived,
Yeah.
or a bill can be waived, meaning you don't have to pay it.
like it. If you don't need a visa to go to a certain country,
Yes.
you receive a visa waiver.
Exactly,
Or your
that's
visa
right.
is waived.
Yeah.
그래요. 우리가 비자 면제 할 때도 쓰는 단어 면제 WAIVE 스펠링은 손을 흔들다 wave랑 발음은 똑같지만
Yeah.
스펠링은 달라요.
Yes.
네, 그래서 여기서 뭐가 면제되느냐 바로 고속도로 통행료 expressway toll fees or just tolls.
Yeah,
이렇게
either can
표현해도 돼요?
work.
Right. And the government is also going to try and stabilize prices.
Yes, and if you stabilize something, you make it stable. You make it
Yeah.
so it's not shaky or fluctuating. For example, if you have a young kid, or maybe when you were a young kid, and they learned to ride a bike, they had stabilizers, which were extra wheels on the back, which meant the bike wouldn't fall over.
Is that what they're called?
They're called stabilizers.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if we stabilize something, we make it stable. We make it so it's not shaky, it's not dangerous, it's not wobbly. So to stabilize prices means to keep prices at the same sort of level.
Since we're on the topic of bicycles,
Yes.
at what age were you able to take off the stabilizers and ride a two-wheel bike?
I never had stabilizers. Because I
okay.
learnt when I was about 7 or 8, I think. So at that
right
point,
from the start?
Yeah, right from the start, I was forced to go on two wheels.
Fantastic. stabilizer라는 게 안정시킨다, 흔들리지 않게 한다라는 의미가 있어서 저도 이건 몰랐는데 두발 자전거에다가 우리가 보조 바퀴를 달아가지고 네 발 자전거로 만들잖아요. 어린이들 탈 때. 이 보조 바퀴를 영어로 stabilizer라고 한다네요. 자, 근데 여기서는 우리 가격 얘기니까 가격을 안정화한다, 안정시킨다.
Yeah, I think every consumer in Korea is hoping for prices to be stabilized.
그렇죠. 이렇게 뭐 들쑥날쑥한다든지 뭐 너무 많이 오른다든지 하지 않도록
네.
좀 안정적으로 낮춘다라는 의미도 있을 수 있을 것 같아요. All right. Well, here's the headline again. The government has announced it will waive expressway tolls during the Chuseok holiday, provide up to 40% discounts on KTX and SRT train tickets, and supply a record volume of key food items to help stabilize prices. 자, 다음 헤드라인입니다.
Korea has raised its African swine fever alert to the highest severe level after confirming the country's fifth case this year at a pig farm in Yeoncheon County in Gyeonggi Province.
경기도 연천군 소재 한 양돈 농장에서 올해 국내 5번째 아프리카 돼지열병 발생이 확인됨에 따라 전국의 위기 경보 심각 단계가 발령됐습니다. So African swine fever.
Yes, and it's a serious business because if pigs are infected, it could spread to neighbouring farms. It's the fifth one we've had this year. Last time in July, it was in Paju in Gyeonggi Province. And so they've acted quickly. The government have dispatched a quarantine team and an investigation team. They're enforcing control measures, and that means blocking off all the affected areas, conducting inspections in farms in the area. And also, sadly, it means that 850 pigs or so have to be culled. They have to be put to death. And that's all to prevent the spread of this swine fever because it is highly contagious. And so up until Thursday, it means that they're putting these emergency measures into place. And Yeoncheon County and 5 neighbouring cities and counties have had their livestock movement when it comes to facilities and vehicles temporarily halted. That'll resume again, but they have to disinfect everywhere first and make sure that everyone and all the pigs are safe.
Well, this particular disease is called African swine fever. 우리말로는 아프리카 돼지열병인데
네.
I don't see the word pig in there.
Well, you have the word swine, and swine means pig.
Aha.
Yes.
It's like a more technical term, would you say, or a more formal term?
Oh, it's an older term. I
older
just think
term.
it's a term we don't use anymore. In fact, when I was growing up, I would see it in movies being used as an insult. You swine!
Really?
Meaning you bad person, you terrible person, you pig. You'll hear it when used talking about farms,
Yeah.
but you won't hear it in school or in the office. People just talk about pigs or pork.
그래요. SWINE, swine이라는 게 바로 이제 돼지를 얘기하고 있다고 보시면 됩니다. 조금 더 어떻게 보면 오래된 단어이기도 하고 이런 공식 명칭에 들어가는
Yeah.
단어예요.
In the same way we talk about avian influenza, bird flu.
맞아요. 그래서 bird flu라고 흔히 말하지만 공식 명칭은 avian influenza.
네.
그래서 avian이 바로 이렇게 원래는 조류, 날아다니는 것 이런 뜻이 있는데 그런 식으로 동물이나 동물군을 지칭하는 여러 단어들이 있습니다. 여기서는 African swine fever가 바로 아프리카 돼지열병이 되겠고요. 자, 이렇게 5번째 케이스가 확인되면서 전국에 그 위기 경보가요.
네.
That's hard to pronounce. 한 단계 상승했어요. So let's look at raising the alert.
Yes, if you raise something, you lift it up. So you can raise your arm. In school, teachers will say, raise your hand if you know the answer.
Right.
But here, it's an alert, which means we're increasing the level of the alert. We're going up a step. In this case, we're raising it to the highest level, which is severe.
Raise your hand if 이런 식으로 뭐뭐뭐 하면은 손 드세요. 그때 raise 쓰죠. 몸을 들다.
Or if you're an employee, you might be asking your boss, can I have a raise?
Oh, that's the best kind of raise.
An increase in cash.
A raise. 명사일 때는 연봉이나 월급 인상이라는 뜻이 있고 동사일 때는 뭔가 들다. 이런 뜻이 있는데 raise your hand, 손 들다, raise the alert, 어떤 경보를 한 단계 상승시키는 거니까요.
네.
극상시키는 거니까 뭐 강화한다. 이렇게 표현할 수 있겠죠. 실제로 이 경보 단계가 심각 단계로 올라갔다라고 합니다. 자, 그 다음에는요. confirming the country's fifth case.
Yes, if we confirm something, we make sure it is accurate. And in this case, we're publicly announcing it's accurate. We're saying, yes,
Sure.
this is definitely the case. It may have been preliminarily announced that it was the fifth case, but they needed to check. The quarantine experts needed to go in. Now they've confirmed it. They say, yes, this is right.
confirm, 무엇을 확인하다, 확정하다 이런 뜻이죠. 그래서 the country's는 한국의 fifth case, 5번째 사례, fifth case of ASF that has been confirmed.
Yes, and so hopefully Yeoncheon County will recover from this. But yeah, this is an issue that we've faced year after year after year, whether it's swine flu, avian influenza, or foot and mouth disease.
Foot and mouth,
That's what it's called. That's what it's called.
Yeah. When you reserve a room at a hotel, if
Yeah.
you're going on vacation,
If you're reserving a flight as well.
Yes, that's right. You may receive an email or a text or something confirming your reservation.
Or they may advise you to confirm your reservation 1 week before
Yes.
before staying there.
그렇죠. 확인하다, 확정하다. Confirm, C-O-N-F-I-R-M. 다시 읽어보겠습니다. Korea has raised its African swine fever alert to the highest severe level after confirming the country's 5th case this year at a pig farm in Yeoncheon County in Gyeonggi Province.
Almost 40% of Seoul residents were living alone as of 2024, making single-person households the most common household type in the capital, according to city authorities.
서울시 발표에 따르면 지난해 서울 시민 약 40%가 혼자 살고 있는 것으로 집계돼 1인 가구가 서울시에서 가장 보편적 가구 형태로 자리 잡은 것으로 나타났습니다. More and more people are living alone. In fact, 4 in 10 residents in Seoul are single-person households.
Yeah, I'm one of them now too. And it's going up and up and up. In 2023, it was 1.63 million. It's now 1.66 million. And that's almost 40% of all the households in the city. Two-person households are 26.2%. 4 persons are 12.3%. And so we're seeing this big, big change. We're also seeing a change in the age of the population because as of July this year, 20.2% of Seoul's population are aged 60 or older. And so we're transforming into a super age society. We're also seeing less kids. Households with at least one child aged 0 to 5 are down. I think it was about 200,000 in 2024, whereas it was 350,000 in 2016.
서울시 인구의 모습이 어떻게 변하고 있는지 이런 통계가 계속해서 매해 나오고 있습니다. 가장 최근 뉴스는 지금 말씀하신 것처럼 1인 가구가 가장 많고요. 여러 가지 가구 형태가 있을 수 있죠. 2인 가구, 3인 가구, 4인 가구 뭐 이렇게 있을 수 있는데 1인 가구가 40% 정도가 되고요. 그 다음에는 또 이번에 처음으로 65세 이상이 되는 가족 구성원이 1명 이상인 그런 가족이 서울시에서 30% 이상을 처음으로 찍었어요. 네. 점점 어떻게 보면은 연세 드신 분들의 이제 비율이 더 많아지고 있다라는 우리가 이미 알고 있는 거지만 그게 또 데이터로 나타나서
네.
그 연령대가 평균적으로 많이 올라가고 있다는 걸 다시 알 수 있고요. And as you said, less children, which is unfortunate. But,
Yeah, but we may see that increase again.
맞아요. 결혼도 조금 더 했어요. 왜냐하면 코로나 시대 때 워낙에 이제 결혼 률이라든지 이런 게 많이 저조했었는데 그건 조금 올라가고 있어요.
We're coming out of a very turbulent time, and I think society is changing very rapidly, and we're sort of in this transition period with everything going on with AI and the world and global politics. So we'll see where things are, but certainly if you're a single-person household, you're in the majority.
우리 서울시에 사는 뭐 시민 이거를 뭐라고 하죠? 서울에 사는 사람.
Well, we're residents of Seoul.
Residents of Seoul.
Yeah, Seoul residents.
그러면 다른 지역 이름 붙여도 돼요? Residents of 광주, Residents
Absolutely.
of 부산.
Yeah.
이렇게.
You may say, how many residents do you have in your home? Meaning how many people? Because you're a resident in your apartment or your house or wherever it may be. We use it to mean someone or a group of people who are living somewhere in particular.
Resident. R-E-S-I-D-E-N-T.
Yeah.
거주민, 어딘가에 사는 사람이라는 뜻이 있어서요. The residents of 어디라고 하면은 그 지역 주민, 시민이라는 의미가 되겠죠. 그 다음에는 이제 주거지 할 때도 residential area라는 말을 쓰고요. 물론 병원에서 말하는 레지던트랑 좀 달라요.
Yeah, that's different.
다른 의미,
But
같은
it
단어.
does mean they are there and they're participating and working there.
그렇긴 하네요.
Yeah.
거기 이제 어떻게 보면은 늘
Because
있는.
you do your residency in a particular place, meaning you stay there, and sometimes that means you move areas.
All right, so the residents of Seoul, obviously now We're seeing more and more single-person households. That is the most common type, right?
Yes, and the most common means, well, it's the most ordinary one. It's the most we'll usually find, the majority
Yeah.
in this case. And the type is the kind, the sort. And we're talking about households, so it's the single-person household. That type is the most common.
common, 흔하다, common. The most common type는 가장 흔한 타입이다.
네.
가장 이런 게 많다는 뜻이겠죠?
네.
All right. Well, here's the headline one more time. Almost 40% of Seoul residents were living alone as of 2024, making single-person households the most common household type in the capital, according to city authorities. Let's move on to the next headline.
Albania has appointed a digital assistant as the first virtually created AI cabinet minister, placing it in charge of public procurement in an effort to reduce corruption and help citizens navigate government services online.
알바니아가 인공지능을 기반으로 한 가상 비서 캐릭터를 세계 최초로 내각에 포함시켜 공공조달부 장관으로 임명했습니다. 정부는 이를 통해 공공사업에서 부정부패를 척결하고 국민들이 정부의 디지털 서비스를 원활하게 이용할 수 있도록 한다는 계획입니다. Okay, so we know that AI is quite pervasive, but now
Yes.
it's taking roles in
Yeah.
the cabinet.
Well, sort of. I
All
think
right,
it's
tell us more.
cabinet minister in name only, but certainly it's doing a lot of work. It's called Diela, which means sun in Albanian. And firstly, I think for ordinary people, the most important thing is that it will guide them through everything they need to do online. About 95% of citizen services will be guided through voice commands. Thanks to Diela, which is really, really good in terms of sorting out whatever it is you need to sort out. But the other thing is dealing with corruption. One of the big issues in Albania has been public tenders. And so what they're doing is using Diela to examine every single one of these tenders in which the government is trying to contract with private companies and measure the objectivity of them, and so they can work out what is the correct way to go without having corrupt officials or corrupt businesses trying to twist the system. So if this works, this could be a fantastic step forward for Albania because, well, many experts say it's a hub for gangs. It's a great country at the moment if you want to launder money from drugs or weapons, and unfortunately corruption is within the government as well. So Diela, good luck to you. You may be AI, but you've got a big job to do.
laundering money, 돈 세탁하는 그런 범죄가 성행하고 있군요. 그래서 여러 가지로 방대한 양의 데이터, 그다음에 자료들을 좀 분석할 사람이 필요한데 사람보다는 AI가 아무래도 이런 거는 더 잘하겠죠. 그래서 실제로 AI 장관이 이렇게 임명이 됐다는 소식인데 장관을 여기서는 cabinet minister라고 표현을 하고 있고 이 장관의 이름이 디엘라래요. 태양이라는 뜻이랍니다. 알바니아어로. 그래서 뭐 태양씨, 태양 장관 이래야 되나? 예, 디엘라 장관. 예, 아직도 좀 어색한데 어쨌든 이 AI 기반의 새로운 장관이요. 어떤 일을 하게 되냐면은 공공조달부 (public procurement)를 담당하게 된다고 합니다. procuring something, 조달한다라는 뜻인데 일단 담당한다라는 표현부터 볼게요. To be in charge of something.
Well, it means you're the boss of it. You're in control of it. You're responsible for it. Sue's in charge of this show when it's on air. She has to run the show for 2 hours. I'm not in charge. I can do anything I like.
그래요. 그래서 procurement에도 당연히 뭐 엄청난 양의 뭔가 이제 뭐 물리적으로 뭐 찾거나 뭐 조달하는 거니까 뭐 가져다 주거나 데이터를 또 잘 정리하거나 이런 게 필요하겠죠. 그래서 AI를 쓰는 것 같습니다. I don't fully understand it, I have to admit.
Well, it's where the government is asking businesses to do something, like build a new road. And so they're trying to procure the assistance of whatever company.
So yeah, please.
And
go
they're
on.
making sure through the AI that this is not because of a backhand deal. This is not because of a white envelope. It's going to examine each tender, which is the offer, objectively.
So I understand the use of AI in that case.
Yes.
And they could have just used this AI as a secretary of some sort, an assistant of some sort. But to actually name them cabinet minister.
Yeah.
that's what struck me as
Oh, it is.
interesting.
It is interesting, but
Yeah.
I think it's branding more than real politics.
Okay. What about navigating something?
Well, if you're navigating something, you're finding your way through it or around it. We think about navigation. Back in the old days, that would be the sailors on the sea finding their way across the Pacific or the Atlantic. You navigate, you find your way.
네. 원래는 이제 항해하다 할 때서부터 썼을 것 같은데요. 길을 찾는 거죠. 그래서 우리도 차량에 있는 그 시스템을 내비라고 부르잖아요. 그게 navigation의 줄임말인데 콩글리시예요. 사실은 navi라는 것은. 명어로는 보통 GPS라고 많이 불러요. Global Positioning System?
That's right.
그건 것 같은데 그렇게 제일 많이 부르긴 하고 어쨌든 이제 navigate라는 동사가 길을 찾는다 뭔가 뭐 여기 이 경우에는 인터넷 얘기를 좀 하고 있으니까
Yeah, so it's finding your way through the website. Go to this page and click on this button, fill in this form, press OK, enter your card details, press OK, and so on and so forth, helping them navigate through that system.
citizens 이 시민들에게 government services 정부의 여러 가지 서비스를 온라인으로 navigate 할 수 있게 도와준대요. 그러니까 온라인 서비스를 이용할 수 있게
맞습니다.
도와준다. 이렇게 보면 되겠네요. Alright, very interesting. 다시 읽어보겠습니다. Albania has appointed a digital assistant as the first virtually created AI cabinet minister, placing it in charge of public procurement in an effort to reduce corruption and help citizens navigate government services online. Let's move on to the final headline.
A Spanish serial Guinness World Record holder has broken one of his own records by running 100 meters backward in less than 17 seconds while wearing high heels.
여러 독특한 기네스 기록을 보유하고 있는 스페인의 한 남성이 하이힐을 신고 뒤로 달리기 100m 종목에서 16.55초로 세계 신기록을 세우면서 자신의 종전 기록을 경신했습니다.
Yeah, congratulations to Christian Roberto Lopez Rodriguez. He did it before in 20.05 seconds. He's now got it down to less than 17 seconds. It's quite incredible to be able to run 100 meters backwards in high heels in that time. But it's not the only record he has. He has more than 80 Guinness World Records, a lot of them to do with running and running in strange footwear or running while holding things. He holds the fastest 50 meters backwards wearing swim fins. 8.82
He
seconds.
likes running backwards.
He
and
does,
he's good at it.
but also forwards. He ran the fastest 100 meters carrying an egg on a spoon in his mouth. 17.21 seconds. He's
Okay.
obviously a big, passionate fan of running. That's all I can say.
All right, so question, Paul.
Yes.
How high were the high heels?
Well, they had to be at least 7 centimeters.
That's quite high.
They are. Those
Yeah.
are quite high heels. But, I mean, obviously he's practiced a lot. He's done it before. And now he's broke his own record.
와, 7cm 이상인 하이힐이어야 됐대요, 이 종목 자체가. 그래서 실제로 기사에 보니까 한 8cm 정도 되는 하이힐을 신고 뒤로 뛰어서 16.55초 기록. 기존의 자신의 기록이 한 20초였는데 그거를 이제 깨면서 기네스 기록을 하나 더 추가한 거죠.
네.
재밌는 표현이 he's a serial Guinness World Record holder.
Yeah.
serial something 그러면은 연쇄 뭐뭐뭐.
Yeah, keeps on doing it again and again and again.
그러니까요. 근데 저기 기네스 기록을 연속적으로 세우다 보니까 이런 재밌는 타이틀이 붙었네요. 와, 대단합니다. I mean, men run faster than women to begin with because of their, biology, how they're
Not all of us, Sue.
generally speaking. If you look at the
Yes,
Olympics.
stereotypically, yes.
Yeah. I mean, male athletes run faster than female athletes. So I get that, but this is really fast. This is incredible. Let's have a look at the expressions. He's broken one of his own records.
Yes, one of one's own something means it belongs to you. In this case, we're talking about a record that he has already set, and he's broken his own record, meaning he had the record and now he's broken it again.
Break a record, 기록을 깨다. Break one of your own records, 자신의 기록 중 하나를 깨다. 그러니까 자신의 기록을 경신한 거겠죠. 기록이 워낙 많다 보니까
Yeah.
아까 얘기한 뭐 거꾸로 계란 아니 뭐였죠? 앞으로 뛰는데 숟가락 위에다 계란을 올려놓고
In his
뛰기. 아, 입에다가 계란.
He had the spoon in his mouth carrying an
아,
egg.
입으로 숟가락을 들고 거기에 계란을 올려놓고 거기서 이제 달리기 하는
Yes.
뭐 그런 기록도 있고 그다음에
Yeah.
아까 뭐 여러 가지 달리기, 뒤로 달리기, 앞으로 달리기 별의별 기네스 기록을 많이 가지고 있습니다.
But Sue,
Yeah.
do you know who doesn't want to break their own records?
Who?
An LP collector.
Ah, come on, of course. You don't want to break any of those. They're precious, aren't they?
Absolutely.
The vinyls. 자, 그 다음에 running backward. I would say maybe backwards in my
Yes,
case.
it depends. It depends on the tense you're using in the situation of the sentence.
Oh.
Yeah, I would say. I
think
ran
both are
backwards.
right.
I ran
Yeah.
backwards. I think both are possible. It's going to depend on you, depend on the situation. But yes, meaning that you're not running forwards, you're going backwards, meaning your back is the front as you're running.
Forward, 앞으로, backward, 뒤로. 그래서 running backward, S 붙여도 되고 안 붙여도 되고요. 그러면은 뒤로 달린다는 뜻이 됩니다. 오, 자, 그럼 다시 한번 읽어볼까요? A Spanish serial Guinness World Record holder has broken one of his own records by running 100 meters backward in less than 17 seconds while wearing high heels.
Mosquito numbers are rising nationwide as temperatures cool ahead of autumn, with Busan reporting 1,020 mosquitoes collected in the first week of September, or a 27% increase over the August weekly average of 802.
가을을 앞두고 기온이 내려가면서 전국적으로 모기 개체수가 늘고 있는 가운데 부산의 경우 9월 1주차 모기 채집수가 1,020마리로 8월 주간 평균이었던 802마리보다 약 27% 증가한 것으로 보고됐습니다. So what they do is they try to see how many mosquitoes they can find or collect every week,
Yes.
especially during the summer and autumn seasons. And every year around this time, we do see more mosquitoes than in early summer, for example.
Oh, yes, but I think now we're seeing more and more later and later. There
Yeah.
is a trend, there is a change. The times, they are a-changing, Sue. And unfortunately, they don't catch all the mosquitoes.
No,
If
no,
there were only 277 mosquitoes in Daegu, we would all be very happy.
This isn't the number of mosquitoes in the whole city.
No.
They just have a little trap.
Exactly.
And they use this as a barometer to
Yeah.
see how many mosquitoes there are week by week.
Oh,
And
yes.
1,000 a week is quite a lot.
It is, but there's even more in Seoul. So Daegu in the first week of September had 277. Seoul had an average of 2,159. So
2,000?
we're double Busan. So there's a lot of mosquitoes here, according to these numbers. If we look back, for example, the third week of August, Seoul was at 1,938. Just a couple of weeks later, we've got another increase. And again, Daegu, back in the last week of July, only had 39.5 mosquitoes. We've seen that number really, really rise. And it is, they think, a shift in rising temperatures. Climate change, the climate crisis is what is causing this. We had less and less mosquitoes in the summer. We had a very dry monsoon season, which means the breeding of mosquitoes may have been delayed. And so we're going to have more mosquitoes in September, October, November, December.
I don't know. Hopefully not.
Yes.
12월까지도 모기가 계속 있으면 참 곤란한데요. 이게 모기가 얼마나 많이 있는지를 측정하기 위해서 이렇게 따로 설치해 놓는 기구가 있다고 합니다. 그래서 거기를 이제 매주 보게 되면은 이제 그 주마다 여기 어떻게 보면 작은 트랩 같은 건데 거기에 모기가 몇 마리 있는지 그 전주에 비해서 좀 늘어났는지 줄어들었는지 알 수가 있는 거거든요. 그런데 이게 이제 일주일마다 한 번씩 확인을 해요.
네.
부산 같은 경우에는 9월의 첫 주에 1,000마리가 조금 넘는
네.
모기 개체수가 발견이 됐는데 그 전달 매주 평균 800마리였던 거에 비하면은 좀 늘어난 거죠. 근데 서울은 또 더 많습니다. 아까 얘기했던 2,000마리 이상 똑같은 방식으로 이제 모기가 얼마나 있는지 측정하는 거고 이게 뭐 서울시 전체, 부산 전체가 아니라요.
Yes.
요 트랩 안에 들어가 있는 모기 개체수를 보는 건데 어쨌든 굉장히 많이 늘었네요.
Yeah, but this is what we're going to have to cope with. So out with the nets and the mosquito coils and the electric bats and whatever.
Exactly. In Seoul, they have 50 of these not devices.
Well, these capture points.
Yes, exactly. 50 of them. So they collect them all, or the numbers anyway, and then all together. We're seeing more mosquitoes than in Busan, as you said, more mosquitoes right now than about a month ago.
Yeah.
So be prepared for that sound.
Yes, that
How
very
do you
annoying
describe
sound.
a mosquito sound?
Yesterday we had whir.
Yeah.
Today I would say whine. W-H-I-N-E. The
Whining
high-pitched
sound.
whine of a mosquito.
아, W-H-I-N-E.
Yeah.
모기 소리를 whine으로 표현할 수가 있군요.
Yeah, they whine so much, sometimes their throats hurt. 목이 아파요.
네. 깜짝이야. Okay, let's have a look at what's happening nationwide.
Nationwide means across the whole country. So if we say nationwide, that means from the very top at the DMZ all the way down to Busan and even Jeju-do Island.
헤드라인에는 부산만 언급이 돼 있지만 전국적으로 지금 모기 개체수가 늘고 있는 모습입니다. 전국적으로 nationwide. Now, what about if something is collected?
Well, in this case, it's captured, it's
Yeah.
caught. Collecting can just be picking up, but in the case of insects, you're going to use nets or other devices to capture them. And we often use the word collect and collector when it comes to insects. For example, a butterfly collector or a beetle collector.
그래요. 그러니까 뭐 수집됐다, 모았다 이런
네.
의미인데요. 모기 같은 경우에는 이게 유문등이라고 하는 그 유인하는 디바이스를 통해서 모기를 잡아요. 그거를 이제 collecting 했다라고
네.
표현을 하고 있는 거죠, 여기서는. You can collect stamps if you're old-fashioned.
Sure, I mean, lots of people collect, animation cards or
Sure, why
football
not?
cards.
그럴 수 있죠. 자, 그럼 다시 한번 제가 읽어보겠습니다. Mosquito numbers are rising nationwide as temperatures cool ahead of autumn, with Busan reporting 1,020 mosquitoes collected in the first week of September, or a 27% increase over the August weekly average of 802. Here's our next headline.
Korea's car exports to the US fell for the sixth consecutive month in August, dropping 15% from a year earlier, hit hard by the Trump administration's tariffs.
지난달 우리나라 대미 자동차 수출액이 트럼프 행정부 관세 정책의 여파로 작년보다 15% 줄어들면서 6개월 연속 감소세를 이어갔습니다. Tell us more.
Yeah, I mean, we knew the tariffs were going to have an impact of some sort, but we're seeing, this 15% decline on year, a 10% decline since July. It's a big deal. This 25% tariff, I think, is having a huge effect. That said, Sue, the good news is when we look at Korea's overall auto exports, the number of vehicles we're exporting, it has actually risen by 8.6% on year. It's now at $5.5 billion. That's the
good.
highest August figure we've ever had. And so we're increasing exports and we'll see US-based production has also been on the rise, but with what happened in the last couple of weeks, we'll have to see whether automakers continue to produce cars or parts in the US.
So overall auto sales, exports that is, from Korea have gone up for the month of
Absolutely.
August.
Yes.
But when we look at America specifically, that has gone down. 15%?
Yes, 15% on year, 10% since July.
Okay. So it's been hit hard, this
Yes.
industry has.
And if you've been hit hard, if something has been hit hard, it has suffered quite a bit of damage or it's been badly affected. There's been some kind of negative impact. And more than just being hit, to be hit hard is emphasizing how bad that is.
그럼 큰 타격을 받은 거겠네요.
네.
우리나라의 자동차 수출이 8월 전체로 봤을 때는 올랐지만 대미 자동차 수출은 좀 줄어들었어요. 근데 이제 큰 타격을 받았다. 15%라는 게 좀 큰 수치니까요.
네.
What about administration?
Well, here in this headline, we're talking about the US government. We're talking about Trump's cabinet and everybody working in the White House.
So how about in Korea? What would you...
The administration, we talk about Lee Jae-myung and his cabinet and the people who are in the majority of the parliament.
그렇죠. 그래서 대통령 이름, 그 다음에 administration 이렇게 붙이면은 누구 행정부가 되겠죠. 지금
네.
이제 미국 얘기니까 미국 행정부, 트럼프 행정부 얘기를 하고 있는 겁니다. Trump administration. 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. Korea's car exports to the US fell for the sixth consecutive month in August, dropping 15% from a year earlier, hit hard by the Trump administration's tariffs.
New research finds that heat waves, droughts and floods hit a quarter of EU regions this summer, causing at least 43 billion euros in short-term losses, with total costs projected to climb to 126 billion euros by 2029.
올여름 유럽 지역의 4분의 1이 폭염, 가뭄, 홍수 등 극한 기후현상에 시달리면서 단기적으로는 최소 430억 유로의 피해가 발생했고 모든 요소를 고려한 총 비용은 오는 2029년까지 1260억 유로, 우리 돈으로 약 205조 원에 달할 수 있다는 연구 결과가 나왔습니다.
And this is perhaps larger than expected, Sue.
Yeah.
And there's a very good reason for it, because they've done the research in a different way. So traditionally, with this kind of study, they would focus only on the infrastructure or the buildings that have been destroyed or damaged. But this time, they looked at hidden costs. So that could be tourism revenue, impacts on productivity or supply chain issues, disruption, and so on and so forth. And they found that immediate losses are something like 0.26% of the EU's economic output for 2024. It's a huge amount.
So it's not just the direct impact, but the indirect impact that
Yes.
the weather has had on Europe.
And the impact that's going to be felt for the next 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
If we look at it, we're talking about 96 regions that experienced heat waves, 195 with drought, and 53 regions impacted by floods. We've seen the Mediterranean really hit the hardest. We've got Spain, Italy, Portugal, southern France, and Greece. That's where we're seeing higher risks of drought and heat waves. It's a serious thing. We've seen the weather change here in Korea, but in Europe, it's really changed in the past 5-10 years.
이런 유럽의 극심한 기후 현상들이요. 앞으로 한 4, 5년 동안 계속해서 여러 가지 이제 어찌 보면 파생 효과처럼 결과를 낳을 수 있겠죠. 뭐 예를 들자면 관광 수입이 이로 인해서 줄어들 수도 있겠고 그 외에도 생산의 그런 수입이 또 줄어들 수도 있다. 예, 그런 얘기를 해주셨는데 직접적인 피해 말고도 앞으로도 발생할 손실액까지 다 계산을 해봤더니 대략적으로 우리 돈으로 한 200조 원 이상의 피해액이 나올 것이다. 이런 얘기였어요. So in the short term, we're looking at about 43 billion euros of losses. Let's have a look at short term.
Yes, so we can use it here like in the short term, or we can talk about a short-term solution or a short-term problem, whatever it may be.
Yep.
It's not lasting long. It's going to be resolved or it's going to end in the near future. So we're talking whether it's a matter of days, weeks, months, or sometimes a few years, but certainly no longer than that.
단기적인 이 될 수도 있고 단기적으로 in the short term 이렇게 쓸 수도 있어요. short term, T-E-R-M. 그러면은 이제 짧은 시간이라는 뜻이 있는데 이제 단기간이라는 의미가 들어있는 표현이에요.
And when we're looking for decades ahead, we'd say in the long term.
아, 그러네요. 장기적으로 봤을 때는 in the decades ahead, in the long term
네.
이렇게 표현을 할 수가 있군요. 이 term, T-E-R-M이라는 게 유럽에서는 학기라는 뜻으로도 쓰죠.
네.
미국에서는 semester를 많이 쓴다면은 유럽에서는 first term, second term 이렇게 표현하기도 해요.
Yeah, but term just means a period of time.
맞아요. 네, 기간이라는 뜻이 있습니다. T-E-R-M, 기간. What about projected to do something, projected to climb?
Yes, well, climb here means to increase, to go up. And if it's projected to do it, it means that's what they think will happen. That's the prediction or the expectation. They predict it to go up. They expect it to go up. They project it to go up.
자, 증가할 것으로 예상된다. projected to climb. 만약에 감소할 것으로 예상된다라고 하면은 projected to drop.
To drop, to decline, reduce, depending on the situation.
그렇게 표현할 수 있겠네요. 계속될 것으로 예상된다. 그러면 projected to continue.
네.
이렇게 할 수 있겠고요. 다시 읽어보겠습니다. New research finds that heat waves, droughts and floods hit a quarter of EU regions this summer, causing at least 43 billion euros in short-term losses, with total costs projected to climb to 126 billion euros by 2029. All right, let's move on to the next headline.
Chinese researchers have developed medical adhesive inspired by oysters that can be injected into fractures to bond bone fragments within minutes, eliminating the need for metal plates or major surgery.
중국 연구진이 굴에서 영감을 받은 의료용 접착제를 개발했습니다. 이를 환부에 주입하면 부러진 뼈 조각을 단 몇 분 안에 접합할 수 있어 금속판이나 대규모 수술이 필요 없다는 설명입니다. Wow.
It's extraordinary.
Learning from nature.
Yes, and until now, you hadn't been able to use any kind of glue like this because, well, you've got the blood pumping around the body and it would make it very, very difficult for any glue to work. It would just be washed away. But here, what we have, inspired by oysters, mimicking how they stick to underwater surfaces, that's what it's doing here. And this kind of protein-rich glue, which is what the oysters use as well, a very similar thing, is able to bond these bone fragments together in just a couple of minutes. It's quite incredible. It's called Bone-02, Bone 2, and it can withstand all sorts of forces. It can withstand something like 181 kilograms of pressure there. So it seems like this could be an amazing quick fix in the short term for broken bones or fractured bones.
이 굴이 해저에서 보면은요, 다양한 표면에 탁 달라붙어 있다고 해요. 그래서 뭐 따로 무슨 풀을 갖다가 쓰는 게 아니잖아요. 자연적으로 생겨나는 어떤 그런 접착제가 있는 걸 텐데 거기서 영감을 받아 지금 이제 우리 인간에게도 사용할 수 있는 그런 의료용 접착제를 개발했다는 내용입니다. 아까 glue라고 했는데 Glue, 풀이죠. 우리가 이제 문방구에서도 흔히 볼 수 있는 이 glue, 그거를 또 adhesive로 대체해서 쓸 수 있는 거죠. 비슷한 단어죠?
Yeah, adhesive is the more technical term. So you'd find doctors or carpenters or anybody using glue. When they're using technical language, they'd say adhesive.
맞아요. 자, 그래서 adhesive가 조금 더 공식적인 단어가 되겠고 좀 더 편하게는 우리가 glue라고 해요. adhesive 스펠링 알려주세요.
Adhesive.
adhesive 접착제. medical adhesive는 그러면 의료용 접착제가 되겠고요. 또 참고로 superglue라고 하면은 강력 접착제를 말합니다.
Always be careful with super glue.
네, 위험하죠. 이게 뭐 잘못 건드렸다가 손이 다 붙을 수도 있고 굉장히 위험합니다. 자, eliminating the need for something.
Well, if you eliminate something, you get rid of it. You destroy it. So eliminating the need for something means you don't need it anymore. You're getting rid of that. You're making that obsolete. It's really quite incredible.
Yeah. eliminating 없앤다. the need for 필요를 뭐뭐 할 필요를 없앤다. eliminating the need for major surgery. 큰 수술의 그런 이제 뭐 필요성이 줄어들 수도 있는 거죠. 이 접착제를 잘 활용하게 되면은.
Can I mention one other amazing thing?
Yeah.
It's biodegradable.
Oh, of course.
So you don't have to go in. It's not like a pin that they put in your leg that you might have to get taken out. Once you put it in and it's done its job, the body absorbs it and it's gone. It's incredible.
Like that. 생분해가 되는군요. 자, 그럼 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. Chinese researchers have developed medical adhesive inspired by oysters that can be injected into fractures to bond bone fragments within minutes, eliminating the need for metal plates or major surgery. All right, well, let's move on to the final headline.
Researchers in Argentina have discovered that eye drops containing pilocarpine, taken several times a day, can improve near vision for years by constricting the pupils and activating the ciliary muscle, with patients showing better ability to read without glasses just 1 hour after the first dose.
아르헨티나 연구진이 필로카르핀이 함유된 안약을 하루 몇 번만 점안하면 수년 동안 근거리 시력이 개선된다는 사실을 발견했습니다. 이는 동공을 수축시키고 수정체 모양을 조절해 초점을 맞추게 하는 필로카르핀 성분의 효과에 따른 것으로 환자들은 이 안약을 처음 점안한 지 단 1시간 만에 안경 없이도 읽기 능력이 더 나아지는 결과를 보였습니다. This is amazing.
It is.
Loads of technical words here, though. Tell us more.
Yeah, I don't think you're quite at this step yet, Sue, but a lot of us, as we head into our 50s, find our eyesight deteriorating, especially when it comes to reading things up close and looking at things up close. So this is really good. They think that these drops could significantly reduce dependence on reading glasses. And what these drops do, they have this pilocarpine in them, and this drug constricts your pupils and contracts this ciliary muscle, and that muscle controls the eye's ability to see things at various distances. So if you take the eye drops twice a day, sort of when you wake up and then maybe 6 hours later, you will see an improvement in your vision. And it is quite quick. It can be sustained for up to 2 years, they say. However, a word of warning, they say this is not intended to replace surgical interventions, but it's just a solution for those who need something different aside from eyeglasses, aside from reading glasses.
So this isn't for everyone.
No.
It's mostly for people who are in their older years.
Yes.
It's people who are experiencing deterioration in their eyesight later on in their lives. 노안에 효과가 있다라는 그런 연구 결과예요. 여기서 이제 눈과 관련된 단어들 중에 아까 pupil, P-U-P-I-L,
Yes.
동공인데 영국에서는 또 학생도 pupil이라고
Sure.
하죠. 네, 그래서 동공의 의미도 있고 학생이라는 의미도 있는 pupil. 그다음에 ciliary muscle, 이거는 수정체 모양을 얘기하고 있다고 합니다.
Yeah, and I have to say, it's unlikely you'll ever use ciliary muscle unless you're an optician or a doctor. It's the first time I've heard of it today.
그 수정체 조절하는 근육이래요. 이게 ciliary muscle이라는 게 저도 전혀 써본 적이 없는 단어이긴 하지만 혹시라도 뭐
Oh yeah, it's good. It's fun
안과에
to
가서
know these things. Yes.
예, 알아두면은 또 나쁠 건 없겠죠. 퓨펄은 좀 더 많이 쓰는 것 같아요. 동공.
Yes.
자, 근데 이제 동공이 어떻게 되냐면 동공을 수축시키는 기능이 있대요. Constricting the pupils.
Ooh, if you constrict the pupils, you make them smaller, you make them tighter. Have you ever heard of a boa constrictor, Sue?
Yes.
That snake
Scary.
is, well, yes, it can be scary, but I don't think that they go after humans too often.
Well, when they constrict their prey, that's scary.
Exactly. They wrap themselves around their prey and make themselves tighter and tighter and tighter until they're ready to eat. They constrict. So here we have the constriction of the pupils, making the pupils smaller, tighter.
boa constrictor가 그 보아뱀이에요. 보아뱀이 먹잇감을 질식을 시키고 그 다음에 이렇게 잡아먹는다고 합니다. 근데 질식시키는 그 행위 자체가 이 뱀의 이름에 들어가 있는 거예요. constricting이라는 게 이제 뱀이 돌돌돌돌 그 먹잇감에 자신의 몸을 감아서 그 다음에 조이는 거죠. 그래서 constricting이 그런 조인다는 의미가 있고 수축한다라는 의미가 있어요. 자, 그래서 동공을 수축시킨다 할 때도 constricting the pupils, C-O-N-S-T-R-I-C-T-I-N-G. This eye drop, 안약, can be taken several times a day.
Yes, and if you take something several times a day, it's either you're dropping it into your eyes or you're consuming it, you're eating it, or you're injecting it. We use this term take momomo for medicine of all forms. So whatever it is, it doesn't matter whether it's a pill, a drop, an injection, or something else, you take it however many times a day.
Yeah, so this is really useful and it's
Yes.
used a lot in everyday life because if you have a headache or if you have a stomach ache or whatever it is, if you need some sort of medication, you need to know how many times a day you need to take this
Yes.
medicine. 어떤 약을 복용할 때도 take something more X number of times a day. Take this medicine 3 times a day.
Yeah,
이런
and
식으로.
we don't say eat unless
No,
it's
no,
like
no.
a gummy or a jelly
맞아요.
that you might have. Yeah, but if it's a pill or anything like that, it's take.
맞아요. 그런데 우리가 복용하는 약뿐만 아니라 바르는 약도 똑같이 take
Yeah.
동사를 쓰고요. 지금 여기도 안약 눈에다 넣는 거잖아요. 이것도 take 동사를 써서 이게
네.
다 이제 어떻게 보면은 크게 봤을 때는 다 약이죠. 그런 것들은 다 take 동사로 take it, 2 times a day, 3 times a day 이런 식으로 얘기를 할 수 있어요.
네.
뭐 비타민도 마찬가지겠죠.
Take your vitamins.
영양제 이런 것들도 마찬가지겠죠. Take your multivitamins, I don't know, once a day, twice a day 이렇게 하면 되겠습니다. Do you take Do you take vitamins?
I do. I try to.
okay.
I sometimes forget.
Ah.
But I have them on my shelf. There's about
Okay.
6 of them. And I haven't had them today yet. Oh dear. I'll take them when I get home.
All right. 자, take several times a day 그러면은 하루에도 여러 번 이 안약을 사용할 수 있다. 저만할 수 있다라는 뜻이 되겠습니다. 자, 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. Researchers in Argentina have discovered that eye drops containing pilocarpine taken several times a day can improve near vision for years by constricting the pupils and activating the ciliary muscle, with patients showing better ability to read without glasses just 1 hour after the first dose. Well, that's it for the headlines.
The cost of preparing chare, or ancestral rite tables, this Chuseok is projected to be lower than last year, largely due to falling fruit and vegetable prices, according to the Korea Price Research Center.
한국 물가협회는 과일과 채소 가격 하락으로 인해 올해 추석 차례상 비용이 지난해보다 낮아질 전망이라고 발표했습니다. Well, that's good news, I guess, because it's not as expensive as last year.
It's going to be cheaper.
Okay.
And honestly, I'm just glad that it's not becoming more expensive as usual because it's actually not down that much. It's 1.1% cheaper than last year. So, I mean, 1.1%. I mean, what is that? It's not really
that translates
much.
to about 3,000 won if you buy at traditional markets, they say.
Yeah, if you're buying a large, expensive, gift package of sorts. But the big thing is that it's typically gone up 7% each year. So the fact that, it's not just that it's cheaper, but it's that it hasn't gone up that 7%, that it's traditionally gone up from 2020 to 2022. So to me, that's the actual savings.
Yeah.
And they do say that it's the traditional markets, you'll find it a good 24% lower than if you're going to the discount franchise chains and stuff. So if you shop around, you'll likely find a better deal as well.
So, I mean, department stores are great too, but the other option, traditional markets, are slightly more affordable. And overall, this trend of prices going up has slightly, it's going down.
Yeah.
So we're seeing I don't know, the trend bucking, maybe? The trend,
Yep. Bucking the trend. And the one thing I will also mention is that why is it going down? It's because we've actually had good, favorable weather conditions. Typically around this time, sometimes we'll have things like floods. Sometimes there'll be storms that come in that ruin certain crops. But that really hasn't happened this year. So farmers have had a good year in terms of, plentiful fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
And because of that, they can pass on those savings to us.
And plentiful anything means the costs go down,
Yeah,
of course.
supply and demand.
All right. 차례상. In English, we could say this is an ancestral rite table. So let's have a look at ancestral rite, because we know what a table is.
Yeah, so anytime you think about ancestors or ancestral things, you're thinking about your family and the lineage of it that goes back, kind of like a historical family feel, right? Now, the rite here in this spelling of the rite, because it's R-I-T-E, not like right and left or right and wrong, R-I-T-E. So this is talking about sort of like giving respects and the rights that you have as a family member, as a person, or as someone in the past. So when we think about this, I guess we know what this is in Korean because it says 차례, but we're kind of giving respects to our family from people before us.
RITE, right라는 게 어떤 의례나 의식을 얘기하고 있고요. 조상과 관련됐다라는 ancestral이 붙어서 조상을 기리는 그런 의식. 우리 이제 차례라고 하지만 영어로는 이걸 설명을 해야 되잖아요. 차례 그러면은 알 수 없으니까. 그래서 ancestral rite tables, 차례상이라고 할 수 있겠네요.
Yeah, and I think culturally speaking, because the West probably doesn't do as much of this kind of stuff, there probably might be an explanation needed for the average person that might not really, what is that? Yeah.
맞아요. 이렇게 한국의 문화를 소개할 때는 그 단어를 그대로 말하고 그 다음에 그게 뭔지 좀 풀어서 설명을 해주면 아주 좋습니다. 예전에는 그냥 풀어서만 설명했던 적이 있었는데 이제는 외국에서도 너무나 궁금해해요. 한국어로는 뭐라고 할까? 그러니까 그냥 ancestral right tables라고 해도 되지만 그걸 이제 굳이 차례라는 단어를 이렇게 말을 하는 것은 여러 가지 의미가 있는 거죠. 이렇게 부른다라는 걸 우리도 알려주고도 있지만 또 외국에서 많이 궁금해하니까 한국 문화를, 한국 뭐 이런 언어.
Especially these days.
맞아요. 좀 너무나 한국어 배우는 사람이 얼마나 많이 늘었는지 알아요?
Oh, yeah.
그래서 굉장히 트렌디한 언어를 선생님은 하고 계시는 겁니다. 한국어 하시니까요. 자, 그 다음에 largely due to.
Largely, right, we're thinking of something that's big, right? And something that's due to, we think of like a reason. So sort of like the biggest reason for this is, or this is why something is happening.
주로 뭐뭐 때문에 라고 할 때 due to 앞에다가 largely L-A-R-G-E-L-Y largely due to 주로 이것 때문이다. 뭐 여러 가지 이유 때문에 차례상 비용이 이번에 살짝 떨어진다고 하는데요. 그 주된 이유는 과일 가격과 채소 가격이 떨어졌기 때문이다. 다시 읽어보겠습니다. The cost of preparing 차례 or ancestral rite tables this 추석 is projected to be lower than last year, largely due to falling fruit and vegetable prices, according to the Korea Price Research Center. All right, let's move on to the second headline.
The Busan International Film Festival has kicked off its 30th installment, featuring films from 64 countries, and is set to conclude on September 26 with the screening of its winning film.
올해로 30회를 맞는 부산국제영화제가 어제 개막했습니다. 이번 행사에서는 총 64개국의 영화 328편이 관객을 만나며 오는 9월 26일에 수상작 상영을 끝으로 일정이 마무리될 예정입니다. Wow, the Biff.
Yeah, and I think the talk of the town is Park Chan-wook's No Other Choice. A lot of people have been talking about this. It is featured as one of the movies here at this year's edition, 30th anniversary. So, yeah, it's been a long time going. And for the first time, Biff has introduced a competition section featuring 14 films from Asian countries, aiming to shed light on Asian films in particular.
Wow. I've never been to the Busan International Film Festival, but, just looking at the pictures every single year, it makes me want to go and see all the stars and watch the movies. And they have all sorts of screenings. They even have a special screening for K-pop Demon Hunters this year as well. You can sing along to it. And as you said, some of these big movies that will soon be out in the cinemas, they'll be screening there too.
Yeah, I've been to Busan so many times.
Yeah.
I was born there. My wife's from there as well. But a couple of weeks ago, I was actually, for the first time ever, actually in the Biff area.
Really?
I was actually working with the Asian OTT Awards. So I was kind of being a part of the whole thing to seeing what it normally is like.
Oh, yeah?
It was amazing. Yeah, it actually is very glitzy and glamorous. They have the whole red carpet event and stuff. And it's a lot of fun.
와, 그래요. 17일부터 26일까지 부산국제영화제가 진행이 됩니다. 아까 박찬욱 감독의 어쩔 수가 없다. No Other Choice가 개막작이었다고 얘기를 해주셨고 폐막작은 지금 현재는 모르는 거죠. We don't know what the final movie is going to be, but that's going to be the winner of the Busan Award the section,
Festival,
I suppose.
yeah. It just
그래요.
might be No Other Choice.
글쎄요. 뭐가 될지는
Could
모르겠어요.
very well be.
자, 그러면은 한번 표현 보겠습니다. This is the 30th installment.
Yeah, an installment is one of many different number of things. So, as an example, we talk about payment installments. If you buy something, paying monthly payments, then you have usually if you're buying a car, you might make 36 monthly payments or installments. You might make 60 monthly payments or installments. So you're doing either like a 3-year plan or a 5-year plan. So each installment is part of those 60. And in the same sort of way, this is the 30th installment. It's the 30th Busan International Film Festival. So it's one of of these larger numbers.
여러 개 중에 하나라는 큰 의미가 있는데 물론 여기서는 부산국제영화제 여러 번 한 것 중에서 그 30번째에 해당된다라는 얘기가 되겠고 그 다음에 pay in installments는 우리가 할부로 계산을 할 때 쓰는 말이죠. 그래서 만약에 36개월 할부라 그러면은 you can pay 36 monthly installments or you can say you're paying in installments for 36 months maybe.
Yep.
이렇게 installments가 그런 의미가 있어요. 여러 개 중에 하나라는 할부 기간이 될 수도 있고 지금은 이제 30회라는 뜻입니다. What about is set to conclude?
If something is set, then it's kind of scheduled to. This is when we expect something to be. And for conclude, that's when it ends. That's the ending of it. So this is when we expect it to end. It's going to be on September 26th.
Exactly. Conclusion이 바로 결론이잖아요. 그래서 to conclude 그러면은 이렇게 끝날 것이다. is set to 그럴 예정이다. is set to conclude. 막을 내릴 예정이에요. 다시 읽어보겠습니다. The Busan International Film Festival has kicked off its 30th installment featuring films from 64 countries and is set to conclude on September 26th with the screening of its winning film.
The World Gold Council has proposed creating pooled gold interests, which would let investors hold fractional digital claims on physical gold stored in approved vaults, with the concept potentially launching early next year.
세계 금협회가 공유 금 이익, 즉 디지털 금을 출시하는 방안을 추진합니다. 이는 공인된 은행 금고에 예치된 실물금에 분할된 디지털 소유권을 은행이나 투자자가 사고 팔 수 있도록 하는 것으로 내년 1분기부터 시범 거래될 예정입니다. It sounds really difficult, but basically they're going to digitalize gold holdings. So tell us about this.
Yeah, right now there's essentially two different ways to have gold, and there's kind of downfalls to each way. So they're trying to combine the good ways of both, or
Right.
having the best of both worlds, essentially, is what they're trying to do. The first is called allocated gold, which gives investors direct ownership of specific physical bars of gold, but it's kind of complex in terms of the operation of the whole system. The second is unallocated gold, which offers better access to everything and lower cost, but it exposes the investors to the risk of perhaps bad things happening, essentially.
이거 쉽게 말하면은요. 이제 금이 우리 실물로 우리가 지금 있지만 이거를 디지털 자산으로 전환하겠다는 겁니다. 그렇게 해서 이제 수익을 거둘 수 있는 하나의 방안이 되겠죠. 자, 그러면 표현을 좀 볼게요. Approved vaults.
Something that is approved is something that has been sort of like given the okay, where we say, okay, we acknowledge this one. It's been approved. We're saying, okay, they're trustworthy, or it meets a certain standard. So what is being approved? A vault. And a vault is somewhere that you keep something safe. Usually banks have a vault where they keep all of their money or bonds or things of value so that it can't be stolen. But it's something where you keep things safe. Some people have vaults in their home where they keep things safe.
Yeah. Do your children ask for your approval of things in the house?
All the time.
For example, what sort of things?
If they can bring a friend over,
Okay, yeah.
is the
Yeah.
thing these days. Or can I go to someone's house? Can they come to my house? So they're always looking for approval.
Seek approval이라는 것은 허락을 구한다라는 뜻이죠. approval 자체는 이제 승인, 허락해 주는 것을 얘기하는데 좀 공식적인 느낌이 있어요. 그러니까 물론 아이가 이런 단어를 쓰진 않을 거예요. 그냥 Can I do this? Will you allow me to do that? 이렇게 얘기를 하겠지만 여기서는 공인된 그런 금고, vault, V-A-U-L-T 거기에다가 금을 일단 보관을 하고 그것을 이제 디지털화해서 거래를 할 수 있게끔 한다는 거죠. Potentially, this would be launched next year.
Something that is launched is started. If you think of a rocket going into outer space, it launches. The moment that it leaves the ground is when it is launching, and then it travels to space. So it's the beginning of the rocket leaving Earth. So it's the start of something. And potentially launching is it's not necessarily launching, but it could. It's possible. It's the possibility of it. So it's potentially going to launch, or it could.
Yep. Launch. launch. 로켓 발사할 때도 rocket launch라고 하는데요. 이렇게 뭔가가 출시될 때도 많이 쓰는 표현입니다. potentially는 잠재적으로 확실치는 않지만 아마 내년 초 정도부터 이제 시범 거래되지 않을까 이렇게 예상이 돼요. 다시 읽어보겠습니다. The World Gold Council has proposed creating pooled gold interests, PGI, which would let investors hold fractional digital claims on physical gold stored in approved vaults, with the concept potentially launching early next year. Let's move on to the next headline.
A study from the UNC School of Medicine finds that diets high in junk food can quickly alter the brain's memory center and raise the risk of cognitive impairment, highlighting new opportunities for early interventions to prevent long-term memory decline associated with obesity.
미국의 UNC 노스캐롤라이나대의 의과대학 연구팀의 연구에서 정크푸드 중심의 식단이 뇌의 기억 중추인 해마를 빠르게 변화시키고 인지기능 저하 위험을 높이는 것으로 나타났습니다. 또 이번 연구는 단식이나 약물 등 조기 개입이 이루어졌을 때 비만 그리고 대사질환과 연관된 장기 기억력 저하 위험을 낮출 수 있음도 새롭게 시사했습니다. Now I'm going to admit, when I read this article, I was munching on a hamburger. And then I go, this is going to make me dumber. Or I don't know. Well, I'm being very extreme here, but I mean, a burger is not going to, immediately bring damage to your brain. But
Right at that particular moment,
Right.
perhaps, a tiny bit, but
tell us more.
I'm glad you're still feeling smart today.
I'm not. I feel like, I don't know. But tell us, what's this about?
Basically, they're saying, look, if you had any good reason to eat junk food, then here's another reason not to. So obviously, junk food, in this case, foods high in fat and saturated fats, it's bad for you anyways in terms of your heart and cardiovascular disease and things like that. But now it looks like it's bad for your brain as well. And according to researchers, consuming a high-fat diet that is high in saturated fats, it may raise the risk of developing neurodegenerative conditions such as dementia and Alzheimer's disease. So usually when we think of, high-fat foods, like I said, we typically think of it being bad for your heart.
Yeah.
But now they're saying it could be bad for your brain as well.
그러게요. 패스트푸드를 지속적으로 먹게 되면은 치매 위험까지 높아진다는 얘기입니다. 그러니까 매일매일 패스트푸드 먹으면 안 좋다는 그런 다큐멘터리도 예전에 나온 적이 있었고.
Supersize me.
맞아요. 그래서 우리가 신체적으로 몸에 좋지 않다는 건 알고 있었는데 이제 뇌에도 안 좋다라는 그런 연구네요. Okay, so this could alter the brain's memory center.
Something that is altered, it's been changed. So it's just that it can change something, and it's saying that it can change the brain's memory center.
alter가 우리 옷 수선할 때도 쓰잖아요.
Alteration.
그렇죠. 네. ALTER. 변화시킨다라는 뜻입니다. 뇌의 이런 이제 기억력이라든지 이런 부분들의 약간의 손상, 변화를 일으킬 수 있다. So early interventions are needed.
Yes, and an intervention is when you get in the way and do something about something. So usually you think of something as something is getting worse and worse. So you need to intervene, or it needs intervention. For you to go in there and stop this or prevent this from getting worse, you're going to kind of get in there and do something about it.
그렇죠. 개입하는 거가 intervening이고요. early intervention이니까 조기 개입입니다. 그러니까 이렇게 정크푸드를 많이 매일매일 먹으면은 뇌 인지 기능이 저하될 수 있다고 하니까 역으로 우리가 이걸 이용하면 돼요. 그래서 정크푸드를 좀 덜 먹고 뇌 인지 기능이 여전히 좋을 때 잘 유지되도록 하면 되겠죠.
Yeah, maybe if your kids or someone you know has bad habits, maybe your kids have bad study habits and their grades are getting worse and worse, then you need to intervene and do something about it to change that course because, you know, their grades are getting worse and worse and worse. You intervene and say, okay, we're going to make you do this, or we're going to send you to this hagwon, or we're going to do something about it to kind of change the path or trajectory of where they're going to make it a different path.
Exactly. So with very good intention,
Yes.
you can intervene. 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. A study from the UNC School of Medicine finds that diets high in junk food can quickly alter the brain's memory center and raise the risk of cognitive impairment, highlighting new opportunities for early interventions to prevent long-term memory decline associated with obesity. Now let's move on to the final headline.
Robert Redford, Hollywood's golden boy, who rose to fame as an actor in the 1960s before becoming an Oscar-winning director, liberal activist, and a champion of independent cinema, has passed away at the age of 89.
할리우드의 총아로 군림한 배우 로버트 레드포드가 향년 89세로 세상을 떠났습니다. 그는 1960년대에 배우로 명성을 떨친 후 오스카상 수상 감독, 자유주의 활동가, 그리고 선댄스 영화제를 처음 만든 독립영화의 대변자 등으로 다채로운 족적을 남겼습니다. And Sundance is where he passed away as well.
Yeah, of course, we associate that with the Sundance Film Festival. And, you know, he was, as mentioned, a champion of independent cinemas
Yeah.
and indie films and things like that.
He was huge in the 70s, wasn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You know, we think of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, where, you know, Sundance comes from. And as a sports fan, one of the greatest baseball movies of all time is always considered The Natural, where he plays Roy Hobbs as one of the favorite characters in baseball. My favorite Robert Redford movie was actually Up Close and Personal with Michelle Pfeiffer. And as a media person, like he's a reporter in there. And I always remember this one report that he does in the movie. He says something like, here's what we do not know on this day where over 200 U.S. Marines were killed. We do not know why there was no perimeter defense. We don't know why these Marines were here in the first place. We don't know why they were even here. So at the end of this terrible day, what we do know is that over 200 Marines died and no one knows why. And like, you know, like the poetry of how that
Yeah.
report was created. As a person in the media, that was kind of what drew me to want to be a better writer, because it's not just, you know, like what you say, but how you say it that can inspire people and make you remember their report.
와우. 저는 그 The Way We Were라는 영화에서 굉장히 인상적으로 봤었거든요. This was a 1973 movie, it says here. But I watched it probably around 2000. I was very late in being introduced to these Robert Redford movies. But, I mean, just one movie was enough to sort of blow my mind and go, wow, this guy's amazing. But he made so many movies.
Yes, and not just as an actor, but as a
Right.
director,
Yes.
as a producer. Yeah, he's had his hand in so many different Hollywood projects.
What does a golden boy mean?
A golden boy is someone that kind of everyone or a person of power likes. So it's someone who's very, very popular and also has a lot of potential to be great in the future. So it's kind of like sort of like a protege, or like a protege that you are going to groom to become great in the future. That, you know, somebody of power really likes and they're trying to push them up.
기대주 같은 느낌인 것 같아요. 그 boy라는 단어가 들어가서 젊다라는 이미지도 있죠.
Yeah.
실제로 로버트 레드포드가 60년대에 굉장히 젊었으니까. 그래서 60년대부터 정말 일약 스타덤에 탁 오르고 he rose to stardom in the 60s and then 70s, 80s, 90s he kept on making loads of great movies, both as an actor, as you said, and as a director as well. And Yeah, I mean, he did a lot for the movie industry. Like, being an activist, being a liberal activist. But let's have a look at rising to fame. That's another expression used here.
Yeah, when you think of someone who's famous, I hate to put it this way, but you kind of think of a person of fame being above you, right? So when you rise to fame, it's like you're just a normal person before, but then you're kind of going up to become
it's
this
true.
famous person or
Yep.
popular, rise to popularity or rise to fame. So when they're mentioning it in that way of rising up, you're kind of going up in life, I guess, to a certain way. So when they say rise to fame, now everyone knows who they are and people like them.
유명해졌다라는 좀 화려한 표현이에요. He rose to fame in the 60s. And then, of course, from that point on, he was a famous actor. And other things too. 자, 그럼 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. Robert Redford, Hollywood's golden boy who rose to fame as an actor in the 1960s before becoming an Oscar-winning director, liberal activist, and a champion of independent cinema, has passed away at the age of 89. All right, well, that's it for the headlines this morning.